Hey everybody, welcome back to the Good Work Podcast. I'm Ella.
I'm Bryson.
And
and
we're
I was gonna say that part because usually you always say like the first 5 things.
Okay, well, we're so glad you're joining us today for the episode.
We are, yeah.
Do you have an icebreaker for me?
I do. I have a couple that I was looking at.
I always come up with the icebreaker question, so I told Bryson to come up with it today.
My idea was no icebreaker question, but that's fine. Have we asked anything about like time travel?
No?
No? Okay.
Have you ever seen Back to the Future?
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen it all the way through.
What?
Yeah.
I've seen all 3. I love those movies.
Yeah, I've never seen it all the way through. Not that interesting. I mean,
Lame.
it came out. Didn't it come out at a really close time to Star Wars? I'm not a big Back to the Future person.
I don't know.
I say that I have the Lego DeLorean, so I probably should watch the movies. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's on time travel. The one I
Okay.
got. It's if you could travel through time, would you go back into the past or would you travel to the future?
I would definitely go back in the past.
Why?
I don't think I
Like,
want
do
to
you have a
know.
certain time?
The 20s. No. I would honestly.
The 1920s.
I would just go back to. Well, I would go back. Well,
1920s is crazy pick.
a part of me.
I would pick the 1920s.
Really?
Maybe.
I like.
Do you
the-
realize you wouldn't be able to vote in the 1920s?
I hate you. Why did you bring that
that
up?
is the
Why is
law.
that the first thought that you had?
I'm saying it was a lot different.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I would either go back to the 1920s. I just like that time era a lot.
You've never voted though.
I would
have
go
you?
back.
Have you ever voted?
No, I just
So yeah,
turned
you
18.
just keep living the way you live in. When you go back, you can't vote.
suck. Why is that the first thing you said?
I don't know. That's just what I think of. It's like when you go past.
You can't vote, by the way.
When you go back past the 70s, you can't vote. You can't vote
Well,
anymore.
I was between like going back in time to the 20s. I would go specifically 1920s in Paris is where I would go.
Okay. Well, that's a little different because I think they might have been able. I mean, I don't know.
I just feel like Paris would be cool in the
I
20s.
don't know.
I don't
a
know
lot
anything
of what
about
was
it.
going on.
I don't either.
In Paris laws and.
But or I would go back to the 1970s. Or 1969 so I could be at Woodstock.
You want to go to 1969 Woodstock?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I just think that would be a great thing to experience. And then I would get to experience the 70s.
That is something that you would like when it's Woodstock, isn't it? Yeah.
What would you do?
I'm honestly not very sure, but I like the idea of going to the past because you know what's going on.
Yeah.
The only bad thing is, and like if you watch like time travel movies, like you can't go into the past and like change stuff,
things. Yeah.
or you have problems,
Exactly.
and then things will be different. So if you go back in the past and start changing stuff, you actually won't know what's going on.
True.
So I would probably go to the future, and that's like you're just as unsure about what's gonna happen. I feel like,
That is true.
but
it's
there'd be
also
more.
like,
There's gonna be more stuff going on.
yeah.
Hopefully I don't go too far.
I feel like the future would just scare me.
It is scary. The future is scary just in general.
True.
But like hopefully I don't go to like a time of like the Terminator,
Yeah.
just like world annihilation,
Yeah, it's true. Or everything's just on fire.
and you never know how far that is. It could be like thousands
Tomorrow?
of years, and it could be tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not. Hopefully it's not tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, I hope not.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to rewatch The Terminator. I forgot how good that movie is.
It's old.
Mm-hmm. I really like it though.
It is a
It
good movie.
was in my top 10 movies for a while.
Really?
Yeah, I really like that movie.
I'm kind of surprised you can like follow that movie. Like what's going on?
I hate Bryson. Like I literally hate you so much.
That's not nice.
You can't vote. I'm surprised
That's
you
just
can
what I
follow
thought
that
about.
movie.
That's what I thought about. I was like, 20s, really? And
That's
you
not
just-
the first thing that I'm thinking of. Like I'm not like, oh, I probably shouldn't
You're
go.
gonna be thinking about it when you
back.
get there. As soon as you better think this through. This is serious because once you get
Did
there,
they like hate women back then?
no,
It was just more like
They
you
weren't
stay
allowed
home
to-
and cook and take care of the kids.
no.
Oh.
You're worse than me.
Oh.
No, people had jobs.
Oh, I didn't know if that was in the time that women had jobs or not.
I mean, yeah, no, I'm not allowed to work. It's just not as
Are
common.
you sure?
Yeah, it just wasn't as common. I'm so serious.
When were women allowed to work?
And you're saying allowed, like they could work.
1960s.
Nah.
Yeah,
didn't know that.
1960s and 70s.
Oh.
So they were like they couldn't work in the 20s. I would be so okay with that though. Like whoever's idea it was to allow women to start working.
Don't say that.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm just kidding. But like for real, I would not mind staying at home
You're
and
gonna
cooking
make
and
money.
cleaning.
You're just not.
The husband makes the
husband's gonna
money.
make all the money.
Yes, the husband makes the money and the wife stays at home and cleans and
So then I would not want to be in the 20s because I would just be working all the time.
yes.
That's a terrible life.
But then you come home and your wife has everything prepared and the kids are excited to see you.
Oh, I would never have to clean.
Yes, because your wife would never have to work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
I
not bad.
like that.
That's not bad.
Let's keep it that way.
I like that. No cleaning.
Well,
So-
I guess we should go ahead and jump
That's
into.
what I was about to say. Keep
Go
cutting me
ahead.
off.
Sorry.
No, yeah, we are. We're talking about leadership today.
Yep.
If you saw already, we posted about it. I wanted to get some feedback about what kinds of leadership or like what specifics to talk about.
Yeah,
You know?
I put out a poll on Instagram and just kind of asked people what questions they had toward leadership, and so let me go to them. Sorry.
You don't remember?
So the first question we got is, how do you create a godly atmosphere for people on your team? So I guess think about it in terms of when you're leading and you have a team of people that you're leading. How do you, even if it's not maybe a Christian thing that you're leading, how do you create a godly atmosphere?
Yeah. That's a good question too, because I feel like there's so many opportunities that a lot of people get where you're put in like a leadership position or you're trying to lead in a group, and it becomes difficult when it's not when it's not directly a church or the Christian group, or you're not doing something necessarily like with that in mind. A lot of times it gets difficult to like kind of see and be strategic about the things you're doing and how it affects the people around you. One thing that always sticks out to everybody is leading by example, which I mean everybody's heard that before. It's just really, it's like super easy to say, but it's very, very difficult to live out. It's very hard to live out exactly or do exactly what you want everybody else to do, because like a lot of times, especially if you're put in a leadership position, like not even if you're trying to like step up in front of everybody in a group, but like if you're put in a leadership position, a lot of times there's pride that comes with that, and you're like, okay, I'm in charge, so I don't have to do this, I don't have to do that.
Right.
But we see like all throughout scripture, Jesus washing feet, choosing to be baptized by John instead of vice versa.
Being servant-minded.
Exactly. And putting other people first and deciding to serve before you're served is, I think, the best way that leadership is described in the Bible, because that's what people are gonna see,
Yeah.
and then that's how they're gonna want to act.
Yeah.
In response.
I love that answer, actually. Just like keeping a servant's mind as you're leading people. And I think when it comes to creating a godly atmosphere is if it's a Christian team, praying before meetings, praying before whatever you're about to do, and like inviting God into the space with you to like, asking God, how can I lead this team? And can you enter into this space before us? And so doing that before a team meeting or before you go and do what you're going to do. And also being intentional to connect with each person on a friendship level, but on a one-on-one level. And so
Right.
if I'm on a team with Bryson, then once a week, maybe I'm going to,
Sorry.
he says that like we haven't been on
Kidding.
teams together before.
Kidding.
But I'm like gonna be intentional to reach out to Bryson maybe once a month or every couple weeks and saying like, hey, how can I be praying for you? How's your relationship with God been? And just being intentional to, I don't know why you're laughing at me.
I've gotten this text, Ella.
I know I said that and I'm like, I haven't ever done that to you.
Just the other people on the team. Everyone else.
We actually used to, Bryson and I both lead YCI together, or did. It's over now.
It's over.
But sad. I'm
Yeah.
gonna start crying. But Bryce and I both led YCI together, which is Youth Commission International, and essentially it's like a Jesus club within public schools. Very special club. But what we did 10th grade year before you came on, we all would like switch names once a week. And so I would do a spinner wheel, and like every week I would send out, okay, Bryson, you're assigned to Lawton this week. Drew is assigned to Trinity. Like, that's what we do. So Drew and Trinity would be responsible for texting each other, saying, how can I be praying for you?
That's smart.
Yep. And it was just kind of how we made things work. And it was just a good way to, like, connect with people one-on-one, ask in a godly way, how can I be praying for you? But yeah,
Fair.
anybody who
That's
wants to
always
take
nice.
that idea can.
That's nice trying to like or like not only reaching out or like being told or like assigned. Like obviously you want to be able to do that on your own, but
Yeah.
like when starting out, if that's not something you're comfortable with, having it be known
Yeah.
for everybody on the team that you're going to get a name. It's going to be
Absolutely.
a different person every week and you
Right.
got to check up on them. Not only is it nice to like have that as like an assignment, so you're like, okay, let's go do it even if it's uncomfortable.
Right.
But like the thought of like someone different every month
Yep.
or week or however often you do it, reaching out to you
Yeah.
and asking how you're doing, that's good.
It also was good. This is the last thing I'll say about this, and then we can go to the next question. But it was good because it would be easy for like me to just text you, you know, because we're good friends. And so
Yeah.
it would be like, oh, I'll just text Bryson. Like, I don't know the other people on the team. But when it was assigned, it was like I had to reach out to people that I wasn't as comfortable with. And then everybody just became closer
Yeah,
because we
that's
were
a good
reaching
thing.
out to people we weren't comfortable with.
Yeah, I know I joked with you about it one time, but another thing that's good about like trying to lead with other people's emotions and like relationships with them in mind is many people probably experience this, but when you're in a group and you're trying to lead, like you can tell when there's been strain in those relationships or where like they're not growing or flourishing in the way that they had in the past. You'll start to see like lack of communication or
Yeah.
like the not wanting to do certain things, being just less I don't know, less, I'm trying to figure out how to put it, just not working well
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
And like working
no
together well.
synergy.
Yeah, synergy. Where'd you get that from?
A leadership conference. Like,
Tough.
that word has stuck with me since that conference.
That's in 7 Habits of
Really?
Successful People. That book's good. Book suggestion
rec.
for anybody that reads. I know a lot. It's not common anymore. Anything in a book you can just look up and find, but I still liked reading.
Are you ready for the next question?
I'm ready. I'm rolling.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, how do you teach someone new how to lead? So, like, I guess just as an example, if you're stepping off of your team and you have to kind of train somebody new to come on,
Right.
how do you do that?
Optimally, I think like I said, similar to the last question, you want to show them the best way and have them observe. The best thing, as Christians, we've got a lot that we try to do, right? And there's a lot of things that we have to fight in terms of temptations and, you know, the worldly things that are constantly knocking on the door. We got to try and live in a different way. And because of all that's going on, when you're trying to do certain things that are, I mean, a lot of times can be considered large tasks, you want to take it one thing at a time.
Yeah.
So in the same way, a lot of times, unless you're really experienced, when you're teaching people how to do things, especially when it comes to leading and leading in a godly way, you want to teach them one at a time.
Yeah.
Don't overload yourself because every person's different. Like when you give a lesson as a teacher, literally every single person in the room is going to take something else or take something a
Yeah.
little bit differently than everybody else. Like you're gonna have one person in the class that's ready to go on to the next thing, and then there's people in the class who are struggling a little bit.
Right.
There's some people that weren't even paying attention. Everyone's gonna be taking in things differently, and it's the same with any other skill, any other type of teaching.
Yeah.
So when you're teaching someone to lead, it's important just do it one at a time. Get to know that person, how they learn,
Right.
see how they respond to the things you're saying. Yeah, I mean just one at a time, and you want to be really intentional with the relationship. Like I said, people are more, this is like I read this in a book. A lot of people are more responsive to teaching or learning stuff when it's from someone that they feel like they have a close relationship
Right.
with. So like if anybody random comes up and starts telling me things, I'm not going to retain as much as if it's like my parents.
Right. Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm going to try to explain this in a way that makes sense, but It's kind of, it's like, it's not confusing at all. It just might sound confusing when I say it. But there's like this, I always think about this when it comes to maybe somebody new stepping onto a team, is it's a 4-step process of I do, you watch, we do, and then you do, I watch, and then you do. Does that make sense? Probably doesn't. Let me break it down.
Yeah, please.
So at first, what you're going to do is, let's say, just as an example, I run our social media, okay, and I'm going to teach Bryson how to do it.
Oh,
okay?
no. That's a long lesson.
So if I'm going to do that, then Bryson, for the first time, is going to watch me make a post, right? He's going to watch how I do it, watch me make the graphic on Canva, watch me schedule the post, and then watch it go out, okay? The next time, we're going to do it together. So maybe Bryson and I make the graphic together, and then we post it together. And then the third step is you do, and I'm going to watch. So Bryson is going to create the graphic with me by his side. Then he's going to post it all with me, but I'm not going to help. I'm going to take a step back. And then the last step is he's going to take off and do it all on his own. And I'm not going to helicopter, I guess, and he's going to do it.
The end result.
Yes. And so then that way they got the steps of we got to do it together. They got to watch how I do it. They got to do it, and I was there as a safety net, and then they got to do it by themselves. And I think that something that's important is, and I heard this at a leadership conference one time, but when you're teaching new people how to lead, it's important to let them fail. And I think that it's important to let people fail because that way they can learn from their mistakes. And if you helicopter too much and you're like, oh, you can't do that, like that's wrong. Like don't let them do like a ton of wrong things, but
Right.
letting them fail well, I think is very important to teaching somebody how to be on a team.
Yeah, I think the best way to like think of that is failure in like a closed environment, in a safe environment. It's completely fine.
Right.
It helps you grow.
Right.
Because seeing yourself fail, for one, it can push you to be better the next time, but it's also just teaching you what not to do, which
Yes.
ways not to go down. Like,
Yep.
there's thousands of things, you and me both, I'm sure, that we just don't do anymore because we saw that it led to failure or
Right.
it was failure in general. And then vice versa, the things that you see that are successful, you're going to keep doing those things.
Yeah.
That's just how we're trained to
Right.
be.
And that's the great part about that. Step 3 is the you do, I watch, because I'm there as that safety net. So that way, if
Right.
you do fail, it's
Yeah.
okay.
It's just like when you're a parent, like just all parenting, like you're putting them in a safe environment. They're under your roof. You're taking care of them. You're
Yeah.
watching them grow. You give them their little slip ups when they make mistakes.
Yeah.
You show them how it's wrong, what it's doing to them, and then as the kid grows up, they learn what not to do because it's failed, what to do because it's
Yep.
successful, and then as they go through life, you're always there watching them.
Yeah.
Constantly, everything they see you do completely on your own, they watch. And you let them try it on their own. It's just
Right.
like driving. They grow up their whole life watching their parents drive, and then finally they get behind the wheel. They know
Yeah.
kind of what it's like. That's why
Yeah.
a lot of times kids drive similarly
To their
their
parents.
parents.
Yeah.
And other things. They talk the same. They
Right.
like what are those? The Progressive commercials, I think, where you
Oh,
like don't
yes.
become like your parents.
Yeah, yeah.
We can't stop you
I
from
have
becoming
seen
your
that.
parents, but we
That's
can
funny.
help you bundle your home and car insurance.
It's the fact that you have that memorized. I forgot that.
Well, those are
even
good
existed.
commercials because
No, it
everyone
is
becomes
good.
their parents.
Right.
You're gonna drift towards what you see while
Yeah.
you're growing up. Like when you're a kid, that's when you're the most impressionable. That's when you get the most influence from other people, and it's the same thing for leading.
Don't be a helicopter leader, though. And
Yeah. Eventually, you gotta
send.
kick them out the house. I'm just kidding.
All right. Question number 3. How do you handle leadership along with other leaders?
Like with other, yeah. So, why are you smiling?
This is the question that confuses me, so I'm just
yeah.
going to let you take it.
So putting leadership in like a big group. So like say you have multiple people who are considered leaders in other things. Like it's completely okay to consider yourself a good leader, and there's traits that you can develop to get to that point. I think one of the biggest things to do to kind of stand out with other leaders around is to just be yourself, be original. Don't try and impress anybody. Don't try and like put any impressions on other people. You want to be original and stick to what you know. Like stick to
Yeah.
what you know in scripture. That's how you should act always. And then lead with that in mind. Lead with that example.
Right.
Like me specifically, and you've probably been to similar things, but like going to like leadership conferences and like we went to DECA and stuff. All the kids that go to that are leaders at their school.
Yeah.
They're successful. They've got good grades. They got all their stuff together.
Yeah.
They see themselves as good leaders. But then you look at like the people that are the state representatives. They're leading all of these people who are leaders on their own.
Right.
So what makes them stand out? First thing is like they had to put themselves out there.
Right.
So they signed up to be a leader. A lot of times that's like the hardest step is choosing and thinking to yourself like I want to do that. Like
Yeah.
I'm even if I lose
Yeah.
an election or even if I don't get a position or whatever it is,
Yeah.
I'm going to try. I'm going to put myself out there. That's usually the hardest part. And then other than that, just being yourself. And if you are a good enough leader, you're going to get put in a leadership position.
Right.
But either way, you're always acting the same. You're still leading in the same way. No matter what your position is, no matter what the goal is, you're still leading with a biblical mindset, trying to prioritize the people around you always. That's how government should be. That's how being a business owner should be.
Yeah.
That's how being a pastor should be. You're always putting your people first.
Right.
And keeping that in mind is very important, especially when leading with other leaders around. Because
Yeah.
sometimes they're going to be better at some things than you.
Right.
You have to know when to let other people do their thing. Like you said, pushing them off,
Right.
letting other people get things done.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 4 is, what do you do when communication is a problem?
Do you
with
want to
leading?
answer first?
Yeah, I can.
Since I dropped the last one.
Yeah. I think that communication is probably one of the biggest struggles when it comes to leadership. And so some helpful tips I would give is I've noticed through the leadership positions that I'm in, when I'm noticing a pattern of people not responding, it's sometimes related to the fact that I haven't been intentional with them lately. And so I noticed that there was like, this is not YCI related, so not
Okay.
hitting at anybody. But
She's talking about me.
but there was this person that I could never get to respond to messages. And all of a sudden, like, I started reaching out to them and being a little bit more intentional with our friendship and, like, asking how they were doing. We started doing more things together. And immediately, I noticed a shift in their communication with the group. And so, and I've done that with like 3 different people, and it's been the same results every time that they've started communicating better. And so I think that it's important to have relationships with the people that you're leading with, because it will encourage them more. And I think that it will encourage them to be better with communication. But also, if it's genuinely a problem, I think that honesty and just having a very honest conversation with your team about, hey guys, this is something that is holding us back from being able to lead well. And communication, like asking people, maybe not, I don't think it's right to come at somebody and say, this is everything you're doing wrong and you're being a terrible communicator. Do not do that. But I think that it's okay if Bryson was struggling with communication to reach out and be like, hey, Bryson, I've noticed you're not responding as much lately. I just want to know if everything's okay. Like, is there a reason that you're not responding? Is there anything I can do for you? You know, just humbling yourself and taking a step back to look at what might be going on with them, and that's why they're not communicating.
Yeah. And something people can appreciate and something that you can appreciate and like the way it will help you is having an internal locus of control. I don't know if you know what that is.
No.
I don't know if you but it's like a psychology term. Make like the idea that everything that happens to you, you have control over. And even the things that you can't control, you're always in control of how you respond.
Yeah.
And that's how, I mean, it's not deliberately in scripture, but scripture backs like everything that happens to you, good, bad, like things are gonna change, things are gonna happen that you weren't ever expecting.
Yeah.
But you can always control how you react.
Right.
And you can always have the Lord in mind. You can always be grateful for the things that He's given you, even the obstacles. You be grateful that He's giving you something that's gonna shape you. And keeping that in mind, like if someone's not responding to you well, or they're having trouble communicating, like put that on yourself.
Yeah.
Like you said, humble yourself. Maybe I wasn't doing a good enough job involving everybody.
Right.
Like every time I try and step into a leadership role, and I've tried to work on it because I don't always do the best. I'll be honest. But when you start a leadership role, no matter what it is, even if it's like a small task or like you're starting a project for school, or it's like a year-long position at school, whatever it is, you want to say, all right, from here until whenever this is over, I'm going to lead in this way with this in mind. I'm going to be as intentional as possible, because when you drop out of that and and you're not communicating as well, you're not being as welcoming to other people or involved in your relationship with them, then they're going to do the same thing. Like you said, if you don't talk to somebody for a really long time and you try and reach out, sometimes sometimes it's fine. Like I've got friends that I don't talk to for a really long time. I reach out. We're so excited to get reconnected. Other times it's not that way. Like they're not as warm in terms of the way they communicate, and I mean that's completely normal. But you got to realize like that can be on you, and that's how you want to look at it. Yeah. You don't want to put it on other people. That's last thing you want to do. Can you imagine if I was like, Ella, you're not answering my texts. What is wrong with you?
You are acting ridiculous.
You are so annoying.
You are stupid. You are a terrible leader.
Not the way to handle it.
Yeah, please don't handle it that way. Yeah. That's actually like a good lead into the next question, which is just how do you be a good leader? And I'll just start with remembering, as a leader, always try to remember your why behind it. And that is what will take you even when times are hard when leading, because we all, like those that have been in a leadership role, know how hard it can be sometimes to be in a leadership role, because teams can be frustrating, things can happen that are out of your control, and if you're controlling like me, then that can be something really hard as a leader.
Super control.
We're just gonna ignore that. But at the beginning, I would say at the beginning of you leading, write down what is my why behind what I'm leading. And actually for YCI in 10th grade, I can remember bringing note cards for the whole team and making everybody write down, I think this was YCI, but like just making everybody write down what their why was behind leading, and that just helped. It helped me, at least when times were hard, to be like, hey, I'm leading this because I care about what Jesus is doing in public schools, right? And that was my why behind it. And so having your why somewhere can be so beneficial to your relationship with the team, how you react to circumstance or situations. Knowing your why.
Yeah. Again, being intentional when you get put on a team, and making sure you're intentional. Not only you're intentional, but everybody else. And like you just said, what that activity was doing, like you're identifying your motivations to be there, why you're there, how you're going to act that out, and then you're identifying everybody else's and how they're going to do that.
Right.
And if you know, like not only if you verbally like say or announce what your motivations are, but you know what everyone else's motivations are, it's going to be a lot easier to navigate as a leader, how navigate problems, conflicts in your team, issues, obstacles, all those things. It's going to be easier to navigate because you know why everybody's doing it.
Right.
And that's always a good thing to have in mind.
Well, I think that's about all the time that we have today. So hopefully we were able to answer some of y'all's leadership questions.
Yeah, leadership's tough, and there's like so many ways. Like there's so many different types of leadership that it's a really hard topic to squeeze into however long this episode's going to be. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
that's everything.
That's everything.
Yeah, that's all we got. We will see you guys in the next week's episode.
Yep. See you guys next time.